It also makes the final pick for Diablo a little bit hard here, as I think my issue with Sivir is that she can really struggle both in lane, because Sivir Alistar is not a lane to write home about, but also into the Trundle, right?
Yeah.
The pillar does actually provide a substantial issue for her, and it's also one of the picks that I think can struggle into Aurora in the late game, where if your spell shield ever gets used, you are just kind of a sitting duck for the bunny. That said, the BNK comp loves to scrap. You know, those early jungle fights with Talia, with Zinza, with Alistar, they're going to be playing towards those, and it should come to the surprise of no one that I think that this game will be decided in like the first 4 fights.
Yep. But now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, the play-ins. Second best of 5 here in round 1, about to begin. Games may not necessarily mean that we have any full information as, Beryl, are we okay? He's okay, because he's got Flash, but deciding that he's not going to use it for now.
I think you would see Aiming and Barrel play a lot more aggressive to try and match, but they couldn't because they did know that Raptor and Vikla were in the area, so they couldn't really commit. Kind of leading to a lose-lose situation.
We're Flash polving, but then Beryl in with the Flash as well as Diablo gets the barrier. The Flash comes through to allow Diablo to escape, but now he's going to have to go home. The DK answer just too good here as Aiming, like you say, with that Flash available, is always deadly if Diablo steps up too far.
Oh, even a single ricochet, very scary now.
Yeah.
If Diablo dies there, obviously the lane is in shambles, but instead, he gets to drink his pots. And now Aiming is actually at a decent risk. There's no summoners available, though, so this will be very telegraphed.
Yeah.
He should be able to hit 2 if they'll let him.
Well, the hook is going to come through here as Kellen is going to try and walk this one out. This is kind of embarrassing and weird. It's a bit of a strange scenario. As the headbutt comes through, there's the flash forward. Aiming kind of gets caught on minions, but still gets that first blood. The back comes through.
Oh, we do have the classic Zinzao top dive.
Yeah, Xiu going to try and hold these minions. Flashes to get himself away as Raptor tanks up the turret just beautifully. As Vikla now looking to clear out some vision himself. Lucid looking to rotate over. Showmaker comes in, rocks her down.
Have to flash.
Yep. There's no seismic shove to land, so does have to flash to get himself out of the way. That is a big tool now missing. The wall down as well. That should mean take these grubs as is an ulti onto Xiu. Let's see whether he can get out of this one. He is Aurora, so it should be all right. Clear misses a button. And just going to put a bit of fear of death into Xiu here. Extraordinarily long-lived.
It's Chemtech
Drake, yeah. And Dundun told us that it's pretty scary. This is also scary, though, as Aiming looking to try and take down the cow, but Beryl is also in trouble. Diablo now flashing to follow Beryl, who decided that he wanted to go into that brush to die. And now Raptor's coming in, but Diablo's in so much trouble. The barriers come through, and there is the auto to pick it up. Not sure about the flash there from Aiming, but picking up a double feels fantastic.
Aiming.
Oh.
He does have to pay with his life as the hook buffer, but he doesn't have flash.
Yeah, he's still very dead, so Beryl is going to die. It's Kellen that locks down that kill.
And looking, they got the dragon, so that might have just been a...
Oh, teleport's coming in here.
Raptor.
Yeah, could be in a lot of trouble. Does have the Crescent Guard, may need to use it. We'll see whether he does. As he doesn't, he just slinks away. Not necessarily out of the woods just yet, because Beryl has come back from the dead and is now looking to take him down. Yeah, that Crescent ain't guarding anything. And the gold lead is non-existent. It's barely there. There is some feats of strength to look out for, and maybe a bit of a battle here as well. As the pillar goes down once again, Raptor is frustrated by this Trundle. Does have to use the ulti. More of Malmortius going to get a lot of value as, hook going to connect here onto Diablo. Does stop the ulti, but does do a lot of damage here as Aiming. Wall comes down. Nice seismic shove as they're looking for the dive. The barrier gets so much done though, and Vikla is just dead. Kellen now looking for the wraparound, finds a headbutt pole. Wind becomes lightning as Aiming is just standing his ground, but he will die in the end. Beryl goes down as well, and B&K avenge their mid laner. But it allows things to stay relatively even as Beryl is throwing a hook at Cliff.
He's winning. 4 levels down.
As he generally would. Aiming is also Valkyrieing towards him. Raptor's going to turn up, and Beryl may just be dead, guys. Yeah, public execution going to come on through. And it was definitely an execution. Do you know what he was doing, though? Buying time.
No,
so they could take the dragon. Double dragon, so incredibly important. It's a Hextech soul as well. Beryl just 2 steps ahead.
He could have done that without dying.
He had the commitment to die for the cause. And sometimes that's even more important.
We're quite deep here,
Yeah, Raptor is pretty far forward. Does like to use his ultimate, and he's going to do so again. Kellen may need to use his as well, and he does so as we're going between the worlds. And she was just going to put the cow in the ground, aiming now Valkyrieing after Clear, who flashes away. And Lucid going to have to disengage from this one as Diablo does turn up. Now Raptor's coming back around, but remember, he doesn't have the ulti anymore. The flash forward from aiming will secure the kill onto the Xin Zhao. And now the wall is going to serve as disengage. And Shiyu is going to buffer that one nicely. Beryl, if you had hit that hook, you would be dead.
Take those sums, but oh, we got to keep going, Atlas.
Yep. Time for a Herald team fight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're doing. Everyone grouped up and ready to go. Got some ultis just about to come back up. Shiyu doesn't quite have his yet, and he may not be able to use it because he's so close to dead. Between Worlds does finally go down, though, as he's bouncing between and picks up a double. And he just needed to wait those couple of seconds, and that was enough as DK run over the fight, and they're looking for the Herald as well.
As we take another look here.
1. And actually just has it up when he needs it. Pretty impressive.
Good use of the stealth there as well. And with Leandri, she do so much damage in the early fights. Did calibrate it here.
We saw it in that game that he got a pentakill.
Yes.
Like the entire early game was just that, as Hook is going to get shielded here by Diablo. As the wall comes down, Lucid says, no, Shelly will get the value. And she is going to march her way towards this bottom lane and look for an angle here. Speaking of angles, Showmaker going to have to get over that wall as the turret goes down. Very nicely played there. Yeah, I like that we're applying some Legend Group knowledge, thinking, you know, to this Rise Group game. But now Kellen could find himself in a bunch of trouble. Wow! Aiming's burst damage, just absurd. And Kellen, you got to press that R button way earlier, buddy.
From years of Aftershock and building tanky items, you know? Yeah, the co makes a big difference there.
Yep.
As well as the plates. That
Beryl.
Beryl. Well, that's actually a big deal. They could try and make an Otacon play off of that.
Well, now we've also got Aiming possibly getting caught out of position here as Diablo. Oh my god, the damage here from Aiming doesn't find the rocket, but still gets the kill onto Diablo. They do kill Aiming, so it is a 2-for-1 in the end, in the extended trade.
Showmaker, I was kind of expecting him to maybe wait and try and set up something, but the poke is going to come through.
Yeah, there is the seismic shove onto Lucid, trying to get his health back, and in goes Clear, finding an angle onto Showmaker right now. Diablo so incredibly low, though, and Clear can't frontline, and now it's Aiming finding the double with the rocket. This guy is really on form today. Aiming is just so bloodthirsty.
In situations like that, it's about how much you can get out of it. We actually saw Nongshim do this yesterday, as I'm sure Beryl is just gonna go down here.
Well, he's fighting two people. Showmaker is looking to make his way over. Beryl will flash towards him here, but Raptor's still going to be able to finish him off. Jungle for support, probably worthwhile if they're able to get this kill. As Crescent Guard comes on through and Showmaker is able to lock that one down. Now Lucid's found Kellen, who does press the R button early. You love to see it. Gets the headbutt back onto Lucid as well, who flashes out of the way to avoid being shoved to his death.
They can't go for the objective, but because he doesn't...
Oh man, this comp does so much damage to Baron as well, it's kind of obscene.
It is. As attempted, that's Aurora, guys.
Yep. And he is just going to go between the worlds here. Vikla does pop off the wall, but that seismic shove left a lot to be desired. In the meantime, the Baron will be taken down, and Clear finds himself in such an awkward position. Diablo, wow, it's a battle for who can be in the most awkward position. Diablo's going to take the award just after getting another award today. That's pretty cool. As Kellen, he's also dead, and Showmaker going to finish that one off, sends his Sand Soldiers forward. And yeah, this is all over but the crying as DK looking to mop things up. 1,000 gold, Rebel Baron power play. That is going to put the gold lead at 8,000. They have everything. Like, in 3 minutes' time, there is the possibility... Okay, Raptor is, not Crescently guarding very much of anything at all. As the rocks do go down, Aiming does try and get it. Oh my god, okay. Boom goes the dynamite. Vikla also about to die as well, but Aiming could be in trouble, finds a triple, the pulverize to take him down. Beryl is likely to die as well, but the Empress Divide is finally going to come in, and that is going to spell the end of this fight. The ace comes through for DK, and they can walk through that top door to get themselves the win.
And that is, you get Aiming, but you give up everything. Unfortunately for BNK, and BNK, credit to them, they're always going to be looking for an angle.
Yeah.
And in this game, unfortunately, I think there weren't a lot of good angles. At this point, had to try. In game number 1, I think as as close and clean and calculated as we're going to get between these two teams?
I would say so. You know, Beryl roaming around and dying and things like this, but he was definitely more impactful in this game than Kellen managed to be. Aiming doing just obscene amounts of damage. Vikla is grinning. That is a little bit worrisome, but he's just going to lock in Galio, and there's not really going to be too much to it.
What should be like Cassio or something?
Morgana. Aha! I forgot. Yeah, no, it was going to be Morgana. That was the choice.
That's actually so crazy, the case. But more importantly, it is so annoying to try and play Annie into someone that can negate your CC consistently.
Yep.
Right? And then I think the setup of Morgana and Pantheon is also really cool. My biggest issue with this is that I feel like Morgana has not actually been a champion for a really long time. And I hesitate to think that her power level will really allow this to pop off. But at the same time, this is what you want to do in a best of 5, right? You want to try and get these big swings to see if they work here. And, you know, in Fury I Concede, you find a route onto someone, they die, because there is so much single target CC here, and the Morgana does give you a lot of safety into the amount of CC that's going to come through on the enemy team.
Yep, and that would be very, very fun. Make this into a best of 3. Let's get onto the Rift here for the second game. To go in.
Yeah.
And you press R to go in more.
So I'm really curious to see what this Morgana is going to bring. So 1v2.
Oh, that is a flash dark binding miss from Vikla.
I've heard these lines before, Atlas.
Yep.
As I'm a little under-stimulated in this game. Freddy.
We could do Freddy.
What about Walter? Walter the Ward.
Walter the Ward is lovely. As here's a Cataclysm. Raptor does get a black shield, but he's still doing battle in the melee with this bear. As now Vikla, oh no, the snapback of Tibbers blocks the dark binding. That was pretty cool. But DK will be able to take these grubs away by the looks of things. That was Alan looking for an angle. Vikla running out of mana as Beryl is just going to flash. Grand Starfall not going to quite find the angle here as Tibbers is still going. The most hard-working bear on the Rift right now as Showmaker moves on in. Tibbers is going to fall down. And it looks like it will be double grubs collected here by B&K. So there it is.
Is Shio in trouble? He is Renekton.
He does look like he might have a bit of an issue here as Slice Dice, all that sort of stuff comes out, but this still could be a worrying time. Gets onto the turret though, and he's going to be okay, but had to use basically everything in his disposal to make this one happen. Let's see how Clear's going to do as the Umbral dash, just beautiful, getting him out of the way of the snare as aiming.
He got a grasp proc.
Yeah, does need to be a little bit careful here as Lucid at full health. There's the wild growth as well to keep him healthy. So much damage absorbed by this Jarvan, and that is going to be first blood pretty late here going over to aiming, but there is a little bit more defense for the top lane turret. Still, it is going to likely go down first.
That's actually crazy. Aiming had to walk out again. Downside.
For it, yeah. So he probably would have done that anyway. He is going to discover some information.
Flash for red buff. Maybe a kill?
Ooh. Flash for flash.
Which into the redemption heal.
Okay.
Lucid. Oh, the
flash. Gonna get flashed on, and the flash is not going to quite work out here. That dark binding's going to hit, and down goes the job. And the Grand Starfall, I think, may have been unnecessary, but I loved the vibes.
It's the binding, and then keeps the tether alive. Nicely done. Otherwise, Lucid might just make it out.
Very, very nicely played there.
So you can't really go in and try and pick up a target, and then neither can DK. So maybe just whoever is first is having a good time.
Well, right now, that is B&K. As this Rift Herald going down very, very quickly. Teleport in, try and get clear in here as there is the Cataclysm. Pop Blossom picks up the Jarvan though. Beryl also collects it. Wild Growth not enough to keep him alive as Shiu. He wants to try and fight this one out, but it does not work. Down goes the Lulu. And Shiu just kind of wandered through B&K and wasn't actually able to affect it at all.
As Lucid gets taken down again here, and that level of disjointedness that we were used to seeing from DK was absent in game 1. Nowhere to be found, or rather, has re-emerged here.
Yeah, pretty high-value cleanse game, by the way, for Amy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have an attempt to play onto Clearer. There's no turret.
Yep, Showmaker's going to be booking it down towards him, going to be able to land the stun. And I don't know whether Clear is going to be able to get out, but there is a lot of BNK members making their way down. Cataclysm comes on through as Lucid's health bar goes down so low. Pop Blossom almost kills Shiu as he opted into it, as the Black Shield on this Aatrox is so incredibly hard to deal with here for DK, and Clear is still at 50% health. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. There is Shiu throwing down the ulti to try and stay alive, but he goes down like a hot knife through butter. And now the killer instinct from Diablo is going to come on through. Featherstorm is not going to be enough, and that is a clean ace for BNK FearX over D+ Kia. This could be the Otacon play. As Slice and Dice here from Shiu to try and get himself towards his inner turret. He might be able to get there, but we'll see whether he can keep himself alive as Diablo finds the supercharger to lock down the kill.
Oh boy!
Towards the top side. Dark Binding not going to quite find the mark there as a bit of an interruption. Raptor going to take a fair bit of damage here. Redemption does a fair bit of work. There's the Featherstorm, but now he's in melee range of an Aatrox. Still aiming, is trying to get the damage down. Does get one. I just don't know whether it's going to be enough as Beryl is off to the side. Showmaker wants to kill Kellen, but he can't do it. And Clear is just too strong in this front line. Out goes Lucid. Wait. That should be the Otacon.
They're low though. Maybe Shiu can make his way back.
Oh, they also have a control ward in this brush.
Yeah, I don't know about this BNK. They're going to be squishy as hell.
And Beryl is still here as well. Of course, he's stuck around. Vikler and no one has smite as Beryl comes over. Lucid being chased down by Clear. There's the knock up as it is going to be the Otacon secured by Shiu. So they're not going to be able to kill them on the outset.
No, Shiu, it's bait, it's bait!
I don't think we should be doing that one. He decides he wants to try and kill Diablo, but he just gets CC'd to death. And down he will go. That's a teleport in from Showmaker as well, as if at first you don't succeed. Try again. Aiming is just going to flash in and kill Vikler. All right, okay, it feels like DK, they now got the terms. Well, the Dragon has been started. Lucid in position here to try and go for a 50-50.
Doesn't have flash.
Yep, stun is going to come on through as over the wall goes Clear. Yeah, he is very, well, not dead, but he cannot stop this Hextech Dragon from going down. That is going to be Soul Point over to BNK. A whole lot of extra power as Shiu is slicing, dicing, acting all cool. And he is dead. Don't really get to quite much more Fresh Prince there as the aiming does have to use the ulti. Kellen's flashing away. Showmaker likely to die here. Does get the bear down as Lucid looking for an angle here onto Vikler. He tried to shackle them, and honestly, they didn't even really need to be shackled because they can get ran down by this BNK roster. That is another clean ace here for BNK FearX.
Just works so well into a DK that's behind. Doesn't really have the cleanest setup. I guess Lucid has to smite steal this, but he can find.
Walks into a binding.
Playoffs where, oh look, Gen G freeze. Oh, T1's free zeroing.
Oh,
people.
Beautiful macro and decision making.
Oh, that's no. I want 5-game Madman level gameplay.
I want
Why
this.
Why Shiu there?
Shiu, exactly.
I don't know.
It's an enigma, and trying to work it out is part of the fun.
It says something about League of Legends. It's art, Atlas.
Exactly. If the Wordle was just a word there and you were like, cool, it's finished.
That's boring.
That wouldn't be interesting. You got to try and figure it out. It's all right. Cataclysm comes down immediately. The Jarvan tries to get out, but it does not work. My God, the weight of the wallets just slamming down onto DK. That binding, Vikler. Oh man, he really got his eye in towards the end of this one, as this mid inhibitor turret is going to be their way towards the Nexus. And BNK, I think they are going to say goodnight to this one now. 13.5k gold, the advantage, and they will be sending us to a third game. Everything tied up 1-1. Blue side, 100% win rate. We'll see whether we can get to a game 5 with that remaining true. That would be exciting.
They didn't get to play the game. Is Clear on this Aatrox, bolstered really by Vikla, I think. That 1-2 ended up being such a big win condition in this one.
Takes it away for the potential next 2 games, as Nefiri will be locked in for Raptor. Doggos.
I don't love the I think up until this point I was really happy with the BNK draft. I think Nefiri into Renata just feels so rough.
They could have also played Nocturne, and then you get to turn the lights off so they don't get to see the Realm Warp come. And that's
I think this is even like, this is one of the games where on DK, dealing with a Zed could have actually been decently hard. Unless they invest very heavy resources, right? Like actually use the ultimates.
Yeah.
I think you can, with Zed, you can go in and you can pop the mark and then that's fine. But if Neferi goes in, you're in. You know, don't really have an easy way to get out.
And if B&K can pull this one out of the bag, they could have themselves well and truly set up for a 3-1 victory. Let's get on the Rift here, game 3. Oh, wow.
As we can see right here,
Diablo is well and truly exiting the whole situation. As Diablo not exactly having the greatest win rate on Evolution thus far, but Raptor might be able to make a little bit of a difference to it here, as it looks like First Blood going to be cleaned up by the doggo. That should be a second kill as well, as Beryl is just so far from safety. It's a double kill for the Neferi in the bottom lane, and that is a level 3 gank if ever I've seen one. Raptor once again looking for an opportunity. As aiming and barrel, they are going to spot him. But now you've got a great handshake to come through. So now it should be a 2v1 for the foreseeable future. And Raptor does have to get himself out of there this time. DK are able to play it well.
They do have the knowledge that this is happening, right? As and they go.
They're going to have to flash this time around as Lucid back in the area, charging the Vault Breaker, but will not go in, I don't think.
That's still a big window for B&K. They got the flash out of barrel.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be too bothered. I think they were trying to fake.
Ooh, handshake does pull Kellen in. I don't know whether they necessarily wanted that, or at least Lucid didn't, but he's going to be able to make it out. Now aiming, trying to hop around this fight.
I'm gonna find out here.
Well, the culling is going to soften up aiming quite a lot here. That means that Lucid probably not going to be able to get in and challenge for these grubs. He knows that, is going to back away.
Still gonna go?
Well, Showmaker looking for a little bit of an angle here as the Foxfire comes down, not able to steal anything away. As now B&K just clearing out the vision, they will be able to secure the rest of these grubs. So that is all 3.
We do have these 2 teams, I think most likely going to be scrapping. Lucid can't really go too hard onto Raptor, needs to be careful.
Well, he's just going to go in, finds the ulti onto Raptor, who does go untargetable. We'll see whether they can actually get the kill, but first it's going to be Lucid going down. Aiming has to flash, as now Beryl is, just doomed. And they tried to do it. They hit Raptor with everything, and that was not enough.
Because then his bailout doesn't get a lot of value. As aiming again, getting taken low.
Oh god, there's a train! Aiming is just going to get ran into, but does have the bailout available. We'll see whether he can actually survive. The answer is no, as it's a double kill for the Neferi once again. There is an answer though for DK this time around, but Lucid getting taken so low. Showmaker dives in, they take down Diablo, but Raptor is still at full health in this game, as the dash outs for Shio are trying to work out here as Vikla makes his way forward, but he's picked up by a Q, and DK, they try and salvage at the end, but this doggo is just such a problem.
And they're going to need it as it's going to take a lot of damage here, I do think.
Yeah, a bit of a shoe sandwich situation here as the train comes through. They're looking for Beryl, but he just gets fates called. Q goes all out, but doesn't quite get over that wall, but does still manage to dash. But the Q is going to be there, and Clear helps lock it down for Vikla. As Diablo was threatening this outer turret, it is going to be a Mountain Soul this game, but Double Dragon over to B&K is a big deal. As nice handshake. Hostile takeover does nothing at all though, but Showmaker has found the backline. Diablo could be in trouble, but there's just not the damage to take him down. Now he's going to get safe as Lucid gets attempted to be bailed out, but they just don't have the damage to follow it up. And Shiu pushes a couple back in. Clear is just so tanky though. And Shiu not quite as much. Clear capable of tanking up the turret as well. Man, B&K in these last couple of games have just been diabolical in the team fight.
And B&K, I think, are on the precipice of going up match point here.
Clearing vision, because that would have been funny. But that is going to be a charm that Raptor just dives right into. Now he's dead, and the shutdown goes to Beryl.
In his defense, I think it was the turret that did that. Even though, you know, he did just have display. So that obviously doesn't help the case, but it's the smite into the setup. And then... I don't even...
Showmaker just
it wasn't
having a bit of fun there.
Is it like the... It actually is the loyalty program, right? Or was it protocol program?
Logistics protocol?
Logistics program.
Still unfortunate.
Very bad. Yeah,
you would say
really unlucky.
It's not exactly optimal, as now Shiu is in so much trouble. The Venn diagram gets put down, and winning was a very small portion of that for Shiu. Yeah, looking for a little bit of an angle here, as of course Diablo has made his way out.
Maybe not.
They're going to have to pray to the Rise gods to get something to work here, but Rise is kind of a god here as in goes Raptor once again. Hostile takeover to try and lock him down as aiming, looking for the Ren, but it's not enough to take him down. Shiu is going to die. Now the Realm Warp to get them all in there. The Vi goes down. Diablo is frontlining as aiming, not able to bail himself out of this one, and it's only Showmaker left standing. Triple kill for Diablo. Well, let's just see as Lucid is going to turn up. Aiming going to find him there as well as Vikla goes golden, but he does get knocked back, flashes away though, and now it's DK that are in a rough spot as the train comes down. Clear, not finding too much value, but does it matter? It absolutely does not, as Raptor has an entire pet shop after Showmaker here. And Lucid is just going to get cleaned up on the back, and Showmaker trying his very best as we zoom back in, but the Foxy lady is just going to get obliterated, and Diablo is dealing with this wave. This game, ladies and gentlemen, is over. And now I think they're just planning on what they're going to do to try and get back into this series in game number 4. At least that's what I'm hoping. As Lucid Beryl could be in a little bit of trouble. The Fate's Call does come on through. Nice double knock up there, but unfortunately I just don't think it's really going to work as Raptor's over the wall. Hostile takeover will force out the untargetability, but Shiu is just going to try and limp towards the rest of his teammates. Does manage to make it over. The Doggo's getting a bit angry, but the redemption is going to be there. Diablo is down relatively low, but there is no one threatening him. There's another minion wave, and this inner turret is also going to go down. So that's going to move us to about a 12,000 gold lead. Power Spike is about a cadence to which you can be strong. And this is too late, unfortunately.
Another Hail Mary!
Yeah, they're going to go for it here as Handshake's coming down. Hostile takeover, getting a fair bit of work done. Shiu finally turning up to the fight as aiming. Has been bailed out, but it is unfortunately not going to be enough. It's expensive to try and get him out of this one as Beryl now in a very uncomfortable position. And no matter what DK do, there is no winning these fights.
I kind of love that. So they realm warped out the target that was focused. Vikla was like, yeah, you can't get a Ren set if there is no one to Ren. I'm dipping.
Oh my goodness.
Like, and also, let's be real, he has Seraphs, and Seraphs still didn't even get procced, by the way.
Yeah. He's also 4-0-10. The Rise is just having a pretty good time here in this game. We're going to compare aiming and Diablo here to add some insult to the injury that is already prevailing. And 2 inhibitors now on the floor. B&K, they can wander back, grab themselves a Baron, play this one by the book, and I think that is likely to be what we're going to see at this stage.
Boiling with rage, because it's I guess he's out.
He is. He is going to make...
They also, I'm pretty sure, did spot Lucid because he went for the ward over the wall. Okay, so Lucid needs to steal this, obviously. Like, that goes without saying.
He does.
And then a lot of other things need to happen. Let's see if we can get the first part of this going.
Well, Showmaker did just teleport away.
Just turning!
Yeah, we're just going to turn. They look to lock down Shiu. He's going to be going down first as Raptor dives on top of aiming. And as soon as he's closed the gap, I just don't think that there's any way for this Kalista to do anything. The bailout does activate, but unfortunately, he's just not getting any kills in this game. As the Vault Breaker goes out there for Lucid, but I just don't know whether that is going to help.
It's fine.
either.
Atlas, he's denying him access to the soul.
True!
Now, don't look at the base.
Unfortunately, we're zooming in on said base.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I'll try and ignore it. Okay, I'll cast off the mini-map as I'll look at the fountain as Lucid and Showmaker truly taking control of their fountain at this stage. But the Nexus turrets are exploding, and it's just B&K celebrating as they will hit match point in this best of 5 in the play-ins to stay in the upper bracket and give themselves the best chances of playoffs.
Those early ganks basically completely shut them out of the lane.
I'm surprised aiming still managed to do that much damage.
Yup.
None of it was meaningful at all.
That's that Blade of the Ruined King power spike.
No, it wasn't. I don't even think he did any damage with that, unfortunately. Wait a second.
Mid Viego. No, okay, we're not going to get carried away here. There's no way.
Locks it in. Okay. The mid Viego coming in, and this is actually something that we had Chovy on record talking about a couple of patches ago. As that's Vayne.
I think DK lean into their creativity a lot more. We're seeing the Viego Sejuani, which are, you know, many things. 2 of Cuz's favorite champions. Once upon a time, I think this was played as a jungle and top lane duo when Sejuani top was a thing.
Yes.
That did happen. It's also a dream Sejuani game. You literally have 2 of the best applicators of your passive in the game. Jax would be up there as well, but we can't pick, you know, Jax bot lane, I think.
Yeah, no,
far.
Aurelia is still
I also
up for next
think
game.
the matchup, oh my god, the matchup should be also extremely hard to play in mid. But when you look at the composition as a whole, up until the Vayne, I was like, okay, this is a smash hit.
If this one works. Thankfully, they also have a game in pocket, so we can go to game 5 if it doesn't quite work out. Let's get onto the Rift here for game number 4.
And let's talk a little bit about this mid lane, because obviously the big risk that Vikla took.
This is not what you want to see.
Oh no, the slow TP!
Yep, it's the turtle port. As Clear is going to get stunned up. Let's see whether they can do this clean, as it looks like the answer is no. Maybe difficult to deal with as the equalizer goes down. Shoot going to throw out some needlework here to try and help himself out as he flashes the harpoon. The grubs do spawn.
Doesn't mean there's prio here for Clear though, and Summoner down is Indigo.
In they go, Flash comes forward as aiming does flash his way out, but man, that Arc of Ruin doing a lot of work here, and in goes Showmaker, trying to find the first reset, and he will find it. First blood goes to the Yunara. It is a disaster here for BNK fans, but it is fantastic for Silver Scrapes, as down goes the Galio. And Showmaker, he knows how to play this one. That's a mid laner that he just picked up, and he says, no, not Rakan, I don't play support. I'm going to leave that one there. And DK, a fantastic start already with Feats of Warfare locked down.
Like this is the first time he's actually had...
Yeah, Clear just looking for a solo kill. He'll find it, as there is a Rel rotating down. And Clear gets back, grabs the plate, and Clear is now very dead. But still...
yeah, okay, so this...
Back in live. Meanwhile, Showmaker is being delivered a killing spree here.
Can we have a competitive game, please? It's looking like another Stomp Atlas!
Yep, I think they misinterpreted competitive as combative, because we are just fighting all the time. Down goes the Galio. Make that 4 for Showmaker, as I believe he has officially woken up.
Doing it, Chronicle. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. Shield might be dead here, though. Counter kill to come through with Raptor at the ready.
Yeah, trying to work some needles in there, but I don't know whether that's going to work. Lucid is going to come through and try and get some revenge, as these two are relatively low, and that's a great Cyclone from Raptor. Does pick up a turret shot, but is otherwise going to be okay. Clear is dead.
Kills, I think.
Yeah, Lucid should be able to find this one as well, as that is going to be Showmaker finding it, and Lucid gets up there as well. And Shiu going to be breathing a sigh of relief, saying, at least my brothers came through to avenge me.
That what we said at the beginning of the day is that I don't think either of these teams know how to play from. We'll see if they actually end up doing so, as we're seeing some question mark pings. I think DK have a sneaking... Lucid's pathing away.
Oh, there it is. They look for the angle. It's a great equalizer to try and burn him down, but out goes Showmaker. Still he's burning. Last tick going to come through. That is massive shutdown money going to Clear, which is exactly where BNK want it.
My ghetto's that close game where... I don't know about the TP. I guess it's fine.
Yeah, well, he's going to slow himself down here as Lucid managing to find the Winter's Wrath onto Diablo, but that is the turret going down.
That's the best case scenario, Atlas.
And it's a 2,000 gold lead here for this Rumble.
Also,
Showmaker now has to lane against him.
All the money is on Showmaker.
Permafrost is going to come through, and Kellen doesn't have any buttons he can press anymore.
So that means if you kill Showmaker, it's really good.
Well, they are going to get the information that this is being taken.
Oh, they're committing.
Yeah.
US the TP.
Beryl is marching his way in, and there is the quickness on top of Showmaker. He manages to heartbreak over the fat side of the wall there, and the Glacial Prison is going to connect. Still Shiu able to dash out of the heroic entrance. Slurkle is going to be gathered here as Beryl finds the Storm, but still Diablo finding some angles here, and he gets the shots into Shiu, and the massive Rumble is able to help take him down. The Otacon will be secured. And oh no, DK, is this where it ends? Woo! Yeah, I agree, Vikla.
That is Otacon.
That was a pretty good fight here for BNK, and
the K is ahead. Doesn't really feel that way, Atlas. They need to get the pick to start the fight. Vikla basing, probably looking to TP in. I think he might be late. Has to TP now.
Yeah, he is going to teleport forward, but it's a steal from Raptor. And now DK, they can commit if they would like to. But they're not fighting over anything. They have the inside track towards this inner turret, and they will be taking it in this mid lane. Some precious time being bought from BNK. Of course, Soul Point will remain there, but man, DK would have loved to lock down the Soul and get all of that extra movement speed to help themselves out. Still, this inner turret going to be a big deal, and an even larger lead for the Yunara is massive. I think that very much helps his prospects. This doesn't, though, as he is going to try and get himself into some stealth as he flashes away. That Glacial Prison needed to land, and the Viego falls down. Now Lucid having to flash to get himself out of the way of this one as Shiu over the side finds a big snip onto Kellen, and yeah, you have to get out of the way of Clear. There is nothing they can do if he is there in the fight, and Showmaker doesn't have teleport. This could be an angle. The taunt comes through and lands onto Lucid. Equalizer will be ignored, though, as Shiu looking for an angle, and actually, BNK are running out of buttons. The heroic entrance has to be employed as Clear goes golden. The Magnet Storm comes in. Clear does manage to make his way out, but the taunt now onto Shiu. He has to flash to escape the play, and it's Kellen that finally falls down. Clear now walking the wrong direction. The Winter's Wrath will find him, and somehow DK managed to make the best of a horrible situation. BNK will have a dragon.
Maybe. No, they will not. They will not have a dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they will have a dragon.
They'll have a dragon. Okay.
They will have a dragon. Will be secured.
Okay, so now I don't. The disengage from DK, I think, should be good enough.
Yeah, and BNK are entirely seen in this mid lane, and there it is. Showmaker will go over and at least start this one up.
They blew they vision, they squired it, so they do know, but I don't think they can do anything. They can't just push through.
Yeah, Clear is waiting on an angle.
That's going to be Soul, but Showmaker has TP.
Yeah, and so he can come over and challenge for this Baron as well as Shiu in position, does find Clear. Let's see whether he can actually stay alive in this 1v1 as, oh my goodness, the Gwen. It's just Gwen things, ladies and gentlemen. The Drake is going to get taken here as well as aiming with that Arc of Ruin is able to do so much work. Now taking a timeout for some Raptors, gets back to work against Vikla here as Beryl really wants to go in and use his last few cooldowns, and he's not even going to die.
Kind of low.
Possible angle here as Shiu is feeling aggressive. Not going to get taunted. Oh, that is Cloud Soul and Cloud Rift working in tandem.
But look at the fight afterwards. BNK going to look for it.
Yeah, let's see whether they can actually find an angle. They do manage to catch Beryl on the flank, and he does not make it out with his life.
DK?
Just get out.
Just dip.
That is true.
They would.
They do take themselves a couple of turrets here.
They're pushing into Nash, though. We'll see if someone on DK is crazy enough to just TP to a top wave.
Well, there's the equalizer. It does effectively 0. And some needlework coming on down as well. Gwen trying to be immune, but she is not aiming. Neither is aiming. They managed to take him down. Now Shiu is running with the scissors. Lucid trying to be relevant. And Showmaker dashing around the fight, but he gets taken down. And oh my God, BNK! They are going to crush the fight, and they have ended DK. They're down to the lower bracket now, and we are denied our 5 games unless some absolute heroism comes in. Shiu, he goes golden. Vikla just is punching the wrong direction. And Shiu will get a bunch of his health bar back. Diablo, though, is doing so much damage to these structures. Can he be the hero? That's the question. Diablo going to go down first. And Vikla cannot hold on. He's going to go down now. The counter race, and now he's trying to end the game. What is this? Oh, can you just say it by yourself, Chronicle?
That's Rise Group, baby!
Oh my God, Kellen kept his level bar as low as possible, by the way, guys, so that he could be back in time to die. To Shiu here.
Let me tell you, when you need someone to defend your base, it doesn't matter how much he's outnumbered. Shiu likes those orbs!
He definitely does.
Can he even end?
I don't know. He does still have Baron for another minute. And the Nexus turrets are going down. 4 seconds on Clear, but Shiu's running with these scissors, and he ain't gonna be stopped. DK! Oh man, they had it in the bag since like minute 1, don't worry.
I did kind of blow up my voice on that one, not gonna lie.
How did Diablo do 25k damage and the most in the game? When did that happen?
I do not know. It's gonna be one of those games where he did like 10k damage in the final fight, I'm assuming.
Yeah. What a weird game,
Showmaker did only 10k, which given his start is not okay.
This is one of the first, it's also a 38-minute game. This is a long game.
Is that how we do it?
Mel? Mel?
No.
Surely
Oh,
not.
No. Let's see what it is.
Oh my God! He's locked it in! And it's the Rock!
Oh my God, please. I want to be vindicated so badly.
Yep.
I do think into the Ezreal specifically, obviously locking him down is hard, but he doesn't kill you.
No.
There's just no way, and the only AD damage is TF. This is a completely different look!
Okay. Oh, the Camille? We are actually experimenting with maybe some 4-1, and the Camille is going to be locked in. DK's draft, I don't know whether it's a masterpiece or a catastrophe, but the most expensive artwork you can buy often looks like that, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm leaning towards not so great. I'm looking at the BFX comp. I think the biggest weakness for them is that Mercs will get crazy value against them. And I hazard to guess what the mid lane matchup is going to look like, because that to me is the break point. If the mid lane matchup goes the way of Vikla, if Raptor is able to impact the early laning phase and TF can get impact on sides, I think that your lane prio and bot lane completely falls off, and I think that your win condition inside that Camille is never going to come online, which is one of our big problems.
Look at that. I have no idea if it's going to work or whether it's a disaster. Let's get onto the Rift for this beautiful Game 5.
Big disaster. It still is, but it would have been worse. As Lucid has a base in already, and it's been prio!
Oh God, there it is! First blood solo kill!
So take another look here. I think he actually gets it with the... Oh my God.
Jeepers. Yeah, that might be a little bit of an angle. Empowered Shock Blast, not going to quite find the mark. Here's the hook shot in. They do get the stun, but...
Ready for it.
Destiny comes through. Vikla to save his top laner here. Very defensive use of the Destiny Gate combo this time.
Yeah, that's
the more resources they invest into trying to stop him, though, it may not necessarily be the best
Barrel
thing,
does have TP.
Let's see how this goes as Sheer, how is he going to be able to utilize this ulti? He does keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but Kellen tanking up the turret. Not going to be able to do it for much longer as the flash to get out of the way as Raptor is going to survive. Managed to tank that last turret shot just in the nick of time.
But now that matchup is in shambles. Really good CC. And I think the DK conclusion is we are going to let Shiu spend some time with a turret, which is probably a good call. The Rumble game, which was kind of insane, one of his comfort picks going back to the 2022 TRX days, is Shiu does have his ult. Need to be careful. They want to try and sell this as...
Oh, Lucid just didn't react at all as hookshot comes down. There's the flash to come out from Vikla as Lucid was still looking for it. Decides he doesn't want to over-invest.
Now showing though.
Yeah, could be in a lot of trouble here. There's the cleanse. And just spend some time golden. That will set him up for a shock blast, which is pretty nice.
From clear there, aiming also.
Oh, Rock gonna get blocked.
TP coming in too. This dive could be huge, Atlas.
Yep, that is Vikla making his way over. And Showmaker has his teleport up, but I just don't know whether he's going to be able to save this. Zenith Blade goes wide. Deadly Flourish does nothing. And both of them hit the deck. That is going to be feats of warfare going over. And they'll also get feats of strength with this first turret going down.
Yep. They know.
BNK coaching staff pretty happy about this one.
If it was the other way around, I'm like, okay, but the comp is really solid, right? BNK you have so much CC. She might be in trouble here.
Yep, Destiny does come on through the ulti, but he holds onto the gold card. Really well played here by Vikla as Shiu trying his very best to get himself out. And Raptor just finds it. Now you've got DK finding Kellen in the jungle, but he's a Leona, so he is going to be absolutely fine. A bit of a shove here. Shoves a whole wave in there, and oh dear, there's the Impale. Tempered Fate is going to buy a little bit of time, and the Cosmic Binding does come on down. Lucid locks down the kill onto the Leona, as now Barrel is magically journeying his way forward. Shiu trying to get his way back into the game, and Showmaker is going to lock down the kill. DK managed to strike back. Like Mountain Soul into game over, because BNK still have a whole lot of control as Shiu trying to keep his turret alive. We'll try and deal with these minions first, but oh god, the Camille, not a whole lot of chances here. As clear goes golden, Beryl was unable to lock that one out because the Camille got chauffeured out of the ulti.
Try and contest anything here. I don't think that they're going to be doing any contesting of this objective. Now mid lane turret is about to fall, and I don't think there's anything that DK rather can do. And really the only thing that they're kind of holding on to is this promise of, oh, are they going to get another one?
Well, they do manage to poke his eye out.
So
Or her eye out, sorry.
DK with control of the river.
Oh, Raptor driving forward, looking for Beryl. He
Go
gets
Beryl!
pulled out of his journey, does go back to it, but that is flashed down for Beryl with not a whole lot of investment. Raptor taking a bit of damage here.
Showmaker trying to stack the passive.
Okay, Solar Flare comes on down. Kellen is taken on a wild journey. He'll be going down first. Tempered Fate buys some time as the Death Mark is going to be able to lock him up as Showmaker stacking this overwhelm as much as he can.
She wasn't here yet, by the way.
All right, the curtains have been called as well as Vikla could be in trouble. Diablo was tanking for him as the curtain call does a fair bit of work.
Behind him!
Yep, can he actually find the angle here as Lucid also on a bit of a flank, but aiming has been left for the Wolves. The teleport comes on through, but the Impale picks up the 80 carry. Will it matter though is the question as Shiu just puts him in the bin. The Jace is already dead as now Showmaker looking a little worse for wear, but B&K, they're just gonna back off and say it's a 2-2. As Shiu also gonna be backing away. That does mean the gate is gonna be used by the TF to get himself back here. And Diablo, inside track towards this inner turret, Raptor and Kellen.
Showmaker's in there and doesn't have TP.
Yep, Beryl is going to magically journey away as the Solar Flare going to connect and the Impale, but the Tempered Fate is going to save Shiu for at least a moment. He also gets Mikhails as Diablo underneath the turret takes so much damage. I don't even think it was good by DK, but it was pretty amazing that Shiu survived. If they lose here, it is done.
Okay, so Lucid is going to want to look for the steal, but do note if he dies, Atacon might be on the table.
Yeah.
It's going so low.
It certainly is, as out goes Lucid, but the Solar Flare is going to connect. They want to take the magical journey. He tries to Deathmark to keep himself alive, but Diablo is going to be okay. It picks up a double off the back end. So much damage now missing, as Diablo gets the redemption and a triple kill. And that may have just won B&K the game. Right. Well, they're going to start it up. Beryl looking a little worse for wear. There's the Destiny. Solar Flare going to connect onto the Jhin, but Beryl's there to peel. Deadly Flourish comes down to Vikla with the flank angle, wanting to get on top of this Mel. Tempered Fate only lands onto one as now Lucid has found the back line. Can he actually get it done as the Mel does manage to lock down one, and Diablo is dead as well. Shiu, an absolute monster, and now Lucid still has the death mark as the Impale comes through and Vikla is down. DK have found the angle as Raptor slinks his way out.
DK need to find, this is gone. DK need to find a way to deal with Diablo. That is going to be, I think, their main win condition in the fights, as that's Soul Point.
Yeah, so Atacon for Soul Point is going to be the trade here for B&K.
So if they get Baron
unless they take Baron.
Which they are. That's just gone, I guess. I guess Barrel's going to ult it and stall.
Well, he will at least be able to do that.
Barrel, they're I guess they just, okay, then it's not, I take it back, it's not worth.
Well, at least he will stall.
Wait, Lucid?
Well, Curtain Call is going to come on in. If this is a steal, that would be very funny, but that's Atacon and Baron for Soul Point. Oh, wait, and out of turret, never mind, totally even.
Yeah.
But no real plays being made just yet. Unfortunately, not going to have that rebuttal as aiming cleanses to get out of the way of Raptor. Deadly Flourish is going to connect. There is the Tempered Fate as well as Vikla dashing forward to try and stop aiming. The Mel just dives to clear as Shiu looking for the angle, but he does not get it. The inhibitor is going to fall, and now Nexus turret's on the menu. Oh my god, Diablo! Aiming is going to fight until the Shock Blast goes down, and Diablo says, no! We are going to stay in the upper bracket here in the play-ins, and B&K BFX will find the 3-2 victory over DK against whatever this composition was. They held true, and they managed to take them out in the end, but my god, was it cinema on the way. And that guy playing the Ezreal, by the way, your Rookie of the Year for a reason. Yeah, that is on the back half of the year. I think this. Let's not look.
Aiming Jhin as top lane was also rough. Has never convinced me, and it feels like it's kind of the opposite that we see with T1. I feel like it's just not necessarily just aiming; it's just the team as a whole.
As Clear is going to pick it up here on the Jace in the last game, but of course his Aatrox and Sion were fantastic.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the post-match interview translation with Clear and the POM and Vikla on the side of B&K BFX. Congratulations!
라이즈의 왕 D 플러스 기아를 상대로 접전 끝에 승리를
You just defeated the king of Rise, D plus Kia, after that neck and neck match. You must feel so amazing right now. How do you feel? You know, it's just that lingering feeling after breaking their nexus in Game 5. It feels amazing, honestly. And how does it feel to get a POM? I think I deserve it. I did pretty well. It feels nice. And Vikla, how do you feel? You know, this was our first step into making it to the playoffs, and I feel like we had a great start, and I'm very happy. And in the regular season, you guys were actually behind in wins and head-to-head against DK. But turns out BNK VRX's best of 5 was different. So what made the difference today? I think in our preparation, we tried to be a little open-minded in drafts. And I think that's what led to today's victory. Yeah, with it being a fearless best of 5, today really showcased the essence of the format. So we had a lot of fun watching, but clear. From a player's perspective, was it pretty difficult? Yeah, honestly, there was so much back and forth in Game 4, and it just felt really regretful. But in Game 5, at the very end, you know, it was quite, I guess, exhausting for the most part. And Vikla, in Game 2, you drafted mid Morgana into Annie. And at first it was quite questionable, but just based on the in-game results, you guys actually hard countered the enemy comp with her. So what was the testing behind it? Honestly, Annie being a meta pick, I felt like it would be a good way to prepare against Annie. So that's what led us to picking Morgana. And clear, in Game 4, you took Rumble, Wukong, and Rakan all in Phase 1. So did it feel like the draft went well? I don't know if I can say that it went well, but I think that's just something that we wanted in the end. And we got Diablo's Bane as the last pick. Was this something that Diablo insisted? He actually said, yeah, if you trust me, you guys, I'll win the game for you. And that's why we ended up giving it to him. And in Game 4, all you had to do was break the Nexus. And what a close loss. So how did it feel? Yeah, there's just so much emotions crossing over. It was so unfortunate. And yeah, I think we were just trying to get over that feeling and make sure that we can focus on Game 5. And it looks like Game 5 was also, as expected, quite a cinema with the Mel trying to counter the Twisted Fate. It was quite intense. So when did it feel like you won? I think that the moment we won the top dive was when we felt like we were pretty certain that we would win today's match. And if there was a key to today's match, it was the unconventional yet sharp draft. So Ryu is actually being the draft magician. He must have been so proud of how well everyone executed the thoughtful draft in game. So what did he say during the match? Honestly, he was so excited. He was actually really happy about how we performed. And he was patting our backs and he was saying, "Good job, you guys. Well done." What would you like to say to you then? You know, our coaching staff actually spends a lot of time in the draft, and I feel like it actually does set us up for success, and that's why the game goes so well. And what about you, Vekla? Yeah, the players and the coaching staff. Because we have great communication, I think it actually really pays off and it feels great. And it's been 1,114 days since BFX has won in the best of 5, and you guys will face Nongshim Red Force, and it will be your first Legend Group match after a while. So, what do you have to say? I feel like as long as we play well, as we normally do, it won't be a difficult victory. And what about Vikla? You know, there is a reason they are legend groups, so I think we just cannot get ahead of ourselves. We need to focus on our game.
BFX 선수분들께 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Please give it up for Clear and Vikla. That's the end of the interview, and back to the space. Thank you.